We have a park system that's very extensive, but it's also been around for a long time. And so what this will allow us to do is fix up, modernize the experience, but not only that, in other areas where we're looking at our trail system and our public water access sites. We'll be able to keep up with the maintenance that has fallen by the wayside a little bit as funding became more scarce. We'll be able to get those to a point where people are having a great experience when they're trying to put their boats in. And if we look at our trail system, making sure that those trail surfaces are well maintained and that people are not struggling with using them. Also making sure that the signage is up to date and easy to read, and all those kind of things that make that experience that much better.